have an Instagram and YouTube Love Sugar Show. So I want to thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me and having us, as a representative of the band. And yeah, I your channel is very amazing. So uh, it's been is a pleasure to be here.
Well, awesome. Thank you. And the first question that I ask anyone that I ever interview is always, how's everything going in your world today? Not just musically, but also in your personal life too.
Personal life, it's pretty good. Let's see, it's kind of a how can I say? I'm like in the middle of a crossroads and stuff like that, and I'm focusing more on music than anything else. So yeah, from that point of view, it's nice to be focused on passions, and so I would say that my life is good, and yeah, everything is fine for my point of view, let's say.
Well, that's always good, right? Better than, oh, everything's horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to talk about this album. Today is release day. How do you feel?
I feel stoked. I'm very happy about it. Like finally we got this released, and we waited a long time for that. And
Hmm.
fortunately, we had this collaboration with Small Stone Records, and we managed to publish the album, and we're super happy. I'm super happy. We as a band are super happy about it. And yeah, I mean, I we are, waiting to hear the feedbacks and stuff like that, and to see if what we love to do is appreciated or not. And so we're super happy about it.
Is there any nervousness at all with like what kind of feedback you're gonna get?
No, no, it's not about being nervous. We are not actually nervous about the feedbacks itself because of 2 points. Let's say, first point is that we really do love and enjoy what we do, and
Hmm.
so this gave us a little bit of we are very satisfied with what we created at this point. So it's not that we do not care about the feedback. And this is actually point number two. But in general, we are not nervous. We are actually super happy about it. And about the feedbacks, I mean, to be honest, people will like it, people will not like it, and it's always for us a way to grow up. If there's something that people will not appreciate, we will listen and we will see, and all the time, having feedbacks and reviews is a way to grow up from our sides, and people that will appreciate it instead, like we will be very proud of it. So.
So you'll take the feedback, good and the bad, and you'll use it to create the next album, is what you're saying. So there's no bad feedback. It's all good.
It's not. I mean, in terms of how can I say, um, the feedbacks have to be constructive feedbacks, and you have to be
Mhm.
open-hearted and be able to listen to the feedbacks. You don't have to close inside your thing because there's always a kind of a angle of growing up when you compose music. This is actually in every part of life, I think.
Right.
Feedback is very important. The negative feedbacks, I mean, of course, in the limits of politeness, and then of course, but another, I mean,
Just be nice.
yeah, no, it's not about just be nice. I mean, we appreciate every kind of feedback. It's just, I mean, I don't know. How can I put it in a better way? It's not just be nice, like a needy kind of a thing. It's just you know, we're curious about it. We are curious about everything, and we take the most of the inputs, the outputs and inputs.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to be. It's like open-minded.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So I know it's release day, the album's already done, so nothing can be changed. But if there's one thing that you could change about the album, what would that be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Uh, I would say that. um, maybe. Look, to be honest, I did not think about this side, this angle of thought, because there is a reason why we came up with this album. Actually, this album is a representation of our inner, let's say, backgrounds that are coming together, and I think that could have not been different from that, because it's clearly something that, our this album itself is a representation of the growing up of us as a band. So I cannot answer in terms that I will change anything, because I mean it would probably we will end up with the same result, because yeah, the process was this one. We love the process, and the meeting of our minds, and so I think we would. I will not change anything on the album, because it's really something, you know it's intimate also about ourselves. So I will
Mhm.
not change anything. It's not that.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
good thing though, because usually bands are like, okay, I wish I could change this and this and this and this. So it's good that like you're happy
I
with
mean,
what.
potentially, yeah, I mean, potentially there would be things to ameliorate, of course, but
Mhm.
symbolically speaking, this is not what we aim to do. I mean, there is a reason why an album comes out in a certain way, and that's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So the album title, which for those who don't know, it's called The Generation Ship Endless Trip Through Infinity. It has a cosmic title. What drew you
Mhm.
to like that theme?
Well, this is mostly out of a passion for stoner rock and deep psych, and all this kind of. It's a combination of, let's say, that we like, for example, me and Federico, the other Federico,
Yeah.
the singer. Yeah, we're too. It's a little bit confusing sometimes. We are very, we like a lot sci-fi fiction, sci-fi books, and
Hmm.
I believe that stoner rock as itself, it's a really good. Um, it's a kind of a it's a type of music that allows you to explore these kind of things in a way that we wanted to explore it. Like there are several ways to explore cosmic feelings, let's say. Of
Hmm.
course, we're not a metal band. We are not a atmospheric black metal band or whatever. It's just that for our purpose, it felt really natural that we were playing stoner rock, and so we shifted towards this kind of focus. At the beginning, it was not like this. I have to say, like the first track that we ever recorded, it was not a really cosmic thing. Is a track number 3 in the album. It's called Sonic Carver. It was very primordial stoner rock vibe,
Hmm.
but then we evolved towards that because we wanted to find our own identity, and we found that, funneling our lyrical passion, let's say, into stoner rock was the best way to pursue. So
Hmm. Would you say it has more of like, I guess, a space feel or like a desert feel, like desert rock, kind of space rock, that kind of vibe?
let's say that the album is a little bit of a melange of everything. There is some tracks that, as I said, like the first ones that we ever um, wrote anyway, were the more like on a desert rock vibes. As I said, like
Hmm.
this Sonic Cover one is very pious-y, inspired one. But then, as soon as we started to compose a little bit more complicated tracks, like the two Orphans of the Sky tracks, part one and part two, or part Centaurus, we started to have the need of having synthesizer and going
Hmm.
back to other roots that were other from pure stoner rock. You can find some Pink Floyd, Tangerine Dream, and sometimes early Fleetwood Mac influences all over
Hmm.
the album. So I mean, it's the album as a first album is a very it's not too dispersed, I would say. But there are tracks that sound a little bit more desert, and other ones that are a little bit more psych, and like
Mm-hmm.
the last track is a little bit more space rock. The rest it's not more psychedelic, and yeah, there is the acoustic instrumental one. It's clearly desert vibes, for example, like not
Yeah.
desert rock, but desert vibes, like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I was listening to the album, like this sounds really desert vibey, but then it sounded kind of spacey, but then it sounds
Yeah.
psychedelic, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's really good.
Well, thank you very much for your feedback. Means really a lot. But yeah, it's true. I mean, it's because that's actually connects to the first question that you asked me about. This kind of how we would we change anything on the album. The album it's flowing for us in this way because it's a representation of our evolution in the band, like
Mhm.
as a band. That's why you feel more, sometimes more psych vibes and some more desert one, because it's like we started in a way and then we evolved and we wanted to put the tracks as a token to our, to ourselves as a band.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
Was that like the intention when the album was being created, or did it like get like, did you decide that in the middle of it, or how did you decide like how to split it up like that?
I think that it was a process that we matured in the middle of the composition process of the album. Because at the beginning, the project was started by me and the bass player Manuel. We were, stoner oriented in a very different way. Sometimes we were doing like some Sabbathy things. Sometimes we were, this kind of more that I love personally, as I love what we're doing now at the same time. But
Mm-hmm.
then like for example, we when we met the other members of the bands, they were also very they had a little bit of a different background from us, not totally different, but they were carrying their own thing together. So at the beginning, I was more into stoner rock thing because I played stoner rock also when years ago, even before the formation of the band. And
Mm-hmm.
so at the beginning, it was more like, we were trying to do our thing, floating space ant, Sonic Carver, and so on. And then, like, kind of the more we played, the more we jammed, the, the more we added these kind of side vibes. We love to do that. And so, on a certain way, the sound evolved on that direction in a natural way, but we didn't want to exclude the other tracks. So we tried to actually we had the tracks and we try to, let's say, infer to them a little bit of the vibes of the newer tracks. And so that's why we try to, while maintaining this kind of tribute to these old tracks, we try to include them in the whole vibe. But of course, the difference is a little bit there. I mean, it's kind of obvious, as I said.
Yeah. So it sounds like your sound is evolving. Like you're taking the old stuff but bringing in new stuff.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. This is yeah. But actually, this is actually a good thing because we have several things in store to be recorded, and we these psych vibes, these space vibes have given it to us like a real point of like a Gordian knot to evolve all the other new material, and so
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it
Well,
was a good thing to endure, to go to that
yeah.
point for us.
So when listeners do listen to this album for the first time, what do you want them to take away from that experience?
Uh, um, to take away from this experience, I think that like I would like people um, to feel what we try to infer into the album. It means that like we are trying to create all over the album this moment of um, tension, progression, stopping and giving a relaxing moment that's prepared to the new part that is coming, and in the
Mm-hmm.
context of the lyrics itself. So I will, I would like people to feel this kind of, the album is not linear, but not linear in a bad way or in a negative way. It's just like that the album is built to change all these atmospheres, and we worked a lot to not making them boring on and to try to go smoothly from one passage to the other and create this kind of expectation from the album. So I would like to like people to hear that too as we hear that.
Yeah, so kind of just like have an experience, it sounds like.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So how did the creative process start when you created the album or when you create a new song? How does that start?
Well, as I said before, let's like not repeat. I mean, about the this floating space hand and the Sonic
Mm-hmm.
Harbor were quite a straightforward stoner rock songs that we started to play all together. I mean, I was like bringing very straightforward riffing, and then we build the song around. Um, the other songs started in the same way, actually. So it's not actually a repetition. So anyway, I'm sorry. The, um, the other song started in the same with the same approach. It's just that in the middle of the song we kind of felt this natural urge of making changes because otherwise we were
Mm-hmm.
feeling a little bit disturbed by the potential monotony of doing for example we have a couple of songs that are like one is 10 minutes and the other 14 minutes. It
Mm-hmm.
was like crazy not to put our influences in that, so that's why our own and singular background came into place. We started to experiment at that point, and we started to feel okay. And this is actually one of the beautiful thing about stoner rock and heavy psych is that allows you to do that. It allows you to do that in a way that it's clearly of historical, musically speaking,
Yeah.
derivation, and so that's allows us to funnel all our background into that. And so we started from stoner rock. We started to create all these changing clean parts.
Mm-hmm.
Federico added this the vocal melody step by step, and it also he proposed to insert the synthesizer. At the beginning, it was not forecast to
Yeah.
insert the synthesizer, so it was like his idea, and it was very nice because it was fitting a lot, and also during live shows, it's like it kind of gives the correct vibes. So yeah, I mean, creatively speaking, that's how it happened. Like it was the beginning, like pure stoner rock, chaos, Fu Manchu, and thing like that, and then it evolves by fusing our because we were scavenging for our own personality as a band, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why we wanted to we ended up in this way. And also we found also the importance of the jam in it. Like sometimes we were not playing our song, we're just jamming, and this gave a lot of sorts of inspiration that we put in the band, in the song. So it was
Mm-hmm.
from this point of view, yeah.
And are you the one and you're the one in charge of like the synth and the percussions and
Yeah, I mean the point is like because in the album it's written like a percussion because when percussion and synths because the synths are made by me and Federico and sometimes also the producer of the studio that's jumped in to make some nice thing that we
Mhm.
are very happy with. Percussively speaking, I'm just I mean Andrea is the drummer and he's in charge of that. I have I had some ideas and I played some of the percussion in some, like for example, in the acoustic song "Nomads of the Red Sun." I played together with Andrea. percussion that were basically acoustic guitars flipped down like that, and play with finger. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, my main role is guitar and backing vocals and a synthesizer, but only on the recording session. And the for the all the rest, for example, live, and also in
Mhm.
the recording session, it's Federico that plays the synthesizers.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Federico, there's two of them in the band, so that's why he's saying that the one is the vocalist. And yeah, does that ever get confusing to some people when you're like, yeah, well, I'm Federico and I'm also him too.
It is sometimes like because at the beginning it was like we were writing Federico C and Federico G, but sounded like Spice Girls, and so it was like, oh, damn it. And so it's always a little bit better to be clear about it. But what can we do? We don't have acronyms, and
Yeah.
we just it's good that we talk about all the other members of the band, and yeah, it can be confusing. I don't. I'm not speaking for everybody listening. I'm not speaking in third person. I'm not like an egomaniac.
Yeah. So did any personal experiences that you have shape the album or any songs on the album?
Ah, personal experience. Well, uh, I cannot answer to that. I mean, it was not. I well, maybe in the creation of the album, maybe the the songs like Orphans of the Sky. It's not like a personal experience. It's just that it's something that um, I really love the book of Robert Heinlein it's called Universe, and it's the first part of Orphans of the Sky. So I really wanted to do a track on it, and we
Mm-hmm.
worked together with Fede. Together to go for that. So um, let's say that these two tracks were for me important because of the book, because the book is really one of my favorite small novels with a lot
Mm-hmm.
of hidden meanings. And moreover, about the first track of the album, it's actually a little bit more steady compared to the other albums. The main
Mm-hmm.
riff is it's a riff that I composed so long time ago, and I for some kind of reason yeah, it has some personal meaning for me, that kind of riff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not folk. I actually that the first track of the album was the last one that we included in the album, and we wanted to make a instrumental one, and so I proposed this one. Everybody liked the riff. We work on that. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to share experience about that, but
Yeah.
it's a that one is a riff that I composed a long time ago, and I kept in my pocket, and it's a kind of a melancholic feeling for me.
Is that to the song The Orphans in the Sky?
The first one, part one,
Perfect.
Generation Sleep. Yeah, and
Okay.
then Federico had this idea of adding uh, this Italian spoken part. It was like fitting 100%.
Mm-hmm.
This is like one of the great thing is that we are discussing all together in a very focused way. There are a lot of fruitful conversations. The
Mm-hmm.
attitude is not clashing, so it's good. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. When you said you wrote the riff a long time ago, how long ago did you write it?
This riff has been written, I think it's like back in 2017 or something like that.
Oh,
Like, because I was part of another stoner rock act because I was living in Strasbourg in France. I
yeah.
was playing there with an underground band that was called Deploy the Cowcatcher. And anyway, and this and yeah, well, while we were experimenting about this instrumental stuff before we split up, because we went into different cities, I was writing this song. It was not a very happy moment in my life, but this riff came out, and I decided to bring it with me because it's always good to bring the most significant one together with you. So,
For sure. So one last question here for you. Is there
yeah.
anything you'd like to say to your fans or anyone interested in listening to this album?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, today is the release day, so I mean, check it out on our pages, on Spotify, on Small Stone Records. The Cosmic Artifact will issue a very nice vinyl that it's like amazing, and follow us. Be ready for some good news, and we are looking forward to hear your feedbacks about the album. And so, we appreciate every support.
Well, awesome. For anyone listening, you guys know I make it super easy. I'll put all the links below the video so you can click on it, give it a listen to. I loved it. I had no idea what to expect, and I'm like every track just kept getting better and better. So I really enjoyed it.